All right, I'll be recording right now, so anything you say can be on the record on YouTube and by the end of the day. This is pretty much a Excel course, quick, hopefully easy, and something that is applicable. Other webinars that are in the works, I'm planning in early September an overview of the sunset licensing model, which will go much deeper in the weeds in the previous couple presentations. You'll go into like how does TCFP, Texas Commission on Fire Protection, align with current best practices of occupational licensing for the state. And then late September, early October, I am securing a speaker from NFPA talking about the pitfalls of NFIRS and all the issues that surround it, and why you shouldn't just depend on NFIRS to describe how many fires you have and such. So that's exciting. So you guys don't need to hear from me all the time. And then if you all are in the accreditation cycle, everyone's being pushed back by 6 months at minimum. Peer visits seem to be on track to start again October, November, December. If y'all are first-time peer reviewers, let me know. I can get you connected to folks that can help y'all out. So let's get started with displaying data with conditional formatting. I will go through the presentation, and then I'll go through a live demo with an Excel sheet. All right, so just an agenda, we'll talk about this, what's conditional formatting, heat map tables and building built-in graphs, conditional formatting with non-numerical data, building rule sets, and then the live demo. Conditional formatting, it's a feature on pretty much every version of Excel, automates formatting when conditions are met. The conditions are set by the user, and the conditional formatting can be found under the home ribbon. The demo data that I'll be using. The first two examples will be using Houston Fire Department actual data over a 1 week span. This might total your entire department's call volume for a year. The third example is a fictional data of a employee survey. The base data is labeled survey results. The fourth example is a fictionalized personnel data. This is labeled personnel. The final example is composed of real places but fictionalized inspection dates. This is labeled inspections. Heat map tables. The first application will be creating heat map tables. It'll be pretty much, you'll visualize different shades of colors so you can see activity levels. You can use this to identify peak times, assessing hotspots, understanding incident type distribution, determining station reliability, evaluating survey results, and flagging overdue inspections. Assessing peak times. The data in use, like I said, will be incident demo data. The visualization of when incidents for time of day and day of week do not need to be on separate graphs. I'm pretty sure a lot of the analytics programs have shown like day of the week on one bar graph and then the hour per day on another bar graph. This heat map can be created that combines both. This can help the department determine the feasibility and what are the peak times for a department. I first saw this concept by Wilmington, North Carolina Fire Department, and so I need to give them proper credit for this. So you have your raw data. You can create a pivot table out of it. It's not going to be in the proper format. Make sure the data in the pivot shows counts of incidents rather than their sums. And the days of the week are also in alphabetical, in order, not exactly in the right order from chronologically. So you can drag and drop the days. So the days of the week are in order. And then you would cut and paste this to a clean spreadsheet. Only copy the values because you really don't need the functionality of this pivot table once everything's adjusted. In the first column has the hour of the day. 0 represents the period from midnight to 1 a.m. Thus, 23 represents the period between 11 p.m. and midnight. Highlight the values that should be formatted. This does not include the labels or the totals because that will throw things really off. Then you click on the conditional formatting button. Select the color scales option and you get a bunch of choices. Some of it's personal preference, but for something like this, I'll go with the red and white color scale. And this option selected will make the lower figures remain a lighter shade of red, and while the higher colors will be, the higher figures will be a darker shade of red. So you can see when the peak times are. It's like, in Houston, it's pretty much like a 12-hour period. This, of course, varies from department to department. And unlike other places where it's more weekday traffic, we have high levels of activities on our weekends as well. And you can cut and paste this to other Microsoft products easily. So if you're trying to get this onto a Microsoft Word report, you'll copy the entire table, paste onto Microsoft Word by right-clicking on the mouse, and when you're pasting, and put down select keep source formatting. And then you can format the table to your liking in Word, because I think all of us have struggled trying to put something from Excel to Word to PDF or whatnot, but it's pretty easy if it's the actual graph. You can add lines by going to the table design and clicking borders. You would select all borders if you want everything to have a border line around each cell. And then you have a lot of customization options that you can put in. Meaningless columns and rows, you can delete them. If you want to have equal amounts of space between each row and column, you can highlight and hit the distribute rows or distribute columns. And these options are in the layout ribbon. Also in the layout ribbon is the text direction. Sometimes when you have a cell that has numbers, but your labels are pretty long, you might want to have your text go vertical. And the alignment section allows for how the text in the cells are is aligned, not allowed. So if you want to center it, you can do that there. So just basic formatting tips. And going to the next example. Incident types. Visualization will be created for different incident types. This is based on the inverse codes. The values displayed are percentages. This can be set in the pivot table as percentage of grand total under the shown values as options. And I'll go through the pivot table for those that have need a little help there. If the data is in a pivot table, copy and paste the values and number formatting into a new worksheet. And select the numerical values. Here I did include the 100% just to provide a little bit of a scale. Under conditional formatting, select data bars, then any of the solid fill options. Choose your favorite color. And if you're in Houston, it better not be cowboy blue. Incident types. One issue in copying and pasting this into Microsoft Word is that it must be pasted as a picture or the formatting is lost. This limits the customization allowed once in Microsoft Word. The other option is to use the previous method of conditional formatting. First, clear the conditional formatting by highlighting the cells affected. Then click on the conditional formatting button, then clear rules from selected cells. So this will clear out everything you've done so you can start from scratch. Instead of a one color scale, you can use the red, yellow, green color scale. The higher numbers will be in red, the lower numbers will be in green. Next example, survey results. So one thing I like to do, especially in COVID, since I can't do discussions with crews, is sending out surveys. And I think the firefighters are already getting tired of Survey Monkey, but it's what we have to get done. So we asked our personnel, how do you rate things from 0 to 4 scale? The extreme colors are based on the largest and smallest number, including the set of cells being customized. So I create a second little set here of 0 and 4 to represent the minimum and maximum.
Aaron? No. I was like, sounded like someone picked up, but it's...
Hold on here. I'll mute everyone else. All right, so when you're selecting the cell to use for conditional formatting, make sure to include the cells 0 and 4. You can highlight all the cells and then use the control button to hit 0 and 4.
She was like, I think it was just an Aaron mixed up.
And then you select the green, yellow, red color scale under the color scales under the conditional formatting. For this case, the greener the cell is, the higher the score. The redder a cell is, the lower the score. You can also use conditional formatting when you're going through personnel ranks. Personnel records can easily be color-coded by a variety of measures, including non-numerical data, such as rank and certifications. Additional user customization is necessary to do this, so this is a little more of a manual process. So first, you select New Rule after clicking on Conditional Formatting, and then you put down Format only cells that contain. And there's a middle drag-down menu on the second half of the window. Select Equal To. Then click on the Format button and you choose your color, because otherwise it's just going to be a blank color. Hit OK. And on the third field in the bottom half of the window, type LT. This is case sensitive, so you make sure you clean up your data first. Then hit OK. And then you repeat the process for the other ranks as needed. Revisions to the formatting rules can be made by clicking on the Manage Rules button. All the active conditional formatting rules will be displayed and can be revised. Next up is inspections. Flagging overdue inspections may be useful. I did this in my previous post. It's like, how do we figure out, how do we organize from our database what should be our priority inspections? Dataset news has names of actual locations, and the inspection dates are actually random here. First, you'll type in today in an empty cell. The formula would produce today's date. Create a column labeled dates since last inspection. The first cell under the column label, type in the equal sign, then click on the cell with today's date. Hit the F4 button on your keyboard so that there are dollar signs displayed in the formula. And that will lock in today's date, the cell that has today's date. Then type in subtraction sign. Then click the cell to the left that has the inspection date displayed. Next, hit the Enter key on your keyboard. Double click on the little box that you see on the bottom right corner of the cell to autofill for the entire row. The formula will update automatically with each passing day when you bring up the spreadsheet. So it's all automated once you set it up. Highlight the entire row. click the new rule under the conditional formatting button. Select the format only cells that contain. Choose the color that you would like to format it. And then on the second pull-down menu, select greater than. And type in 365 times 5 if you're trying to flag all inspections that have exceeded 5 years since the last inspection. You can adjust the second number based on the number of years that you need. So everything that's more than 365 days, that'll be an inspection that's overdue, for example. And after clicking OK, the table should reflect the conditional formatting. Filtering and sorting can be done by color. So you don't just have to filter or sort by the text or the numbers, but you can actually filter in the color. And we'll go through the demo. Let me just bring it up here. And I did take some shortcuts. Can you all see the spreadsheet? Just type it into chat. Actually, you don't see it. There it is. All right, so instant demo data. So I'll highlight the entire thing here by hitting the left corner, insert pivot table. And I'm trying to get time of day and the day of the week. And let's say I'm trying to make sure I get the instant ID. So that's all of them being added together. I want to show values as a count here. And let's reorder Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we're set there. I'm going to copy and paste this into a new spreadsheet. And when I paste it, you have all these options. I chose values. I'm going to highlight all the values here. And the home ribbon's already on, so conditional formatting, color scales, looking for the red-white color scale, and there you go. And let me pull it up into a new Microsoft Word document. So I'm going to copy all of that. So we have it here. So I want to add, let's just do a quick rundown of what's going to be done. Borders, I'm choosing all borders. I want to delete the entire column. Delete the row here. Layout, distribute columns, text direction, and let's center it. And you can also customize like the background shading. You want to shade the labels, and you can drag down as needed. So that's example number 1. All right, next up, I want to do the end first breakdown. Let's create another pivot table. And I'm interested in first final, just in first group final. Or as an ID, change this into account. Or actually, we want to go with a percentage this time. So that's no surprise here. EMS calls are the top. We'll copy this, just the values. And this is right now not in the percentage format. Change that here. And conditional format that into data bar. And like I said, for this one, you have to do the formatting, make it nice in Excel if you're copying and pasting into Word as a picture. So we want percentage in first group. Let's actually include the grand total, so the 80% doesn't seem like it's the full thing. And so we want to just copy that. We can do that, adjust the rows as needed, and so forth. Copy. And paste as picture. Next up would be the survey results. So what you would do here, you already have the survey information here with the numbers. You'll highlight the figures, include the 0 and 4. Color scale, I believe I have it down as red, yellow, green. Or actually the other one here. The green, yellow, red. Here, so the good numbers are in green, the bad numbers are in red. Personnel ranks, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So I would set conditional formatting, new rule, cells that contain, let me actually highlight here. First, conditional formatting, new rule, cells that contain equal to LT. Format, I want this as a, let's just say purple or blue of some sort. And then you'll just repeat this process as you go on. And you can see where these this formatting applies to. So it's rows C2 through C17. You can get another rule, cells that contain equal to BC. Let's have that a little green because they make a little more money than the lieutenants. And apply and OK. And so forth and so on until you're done with what you want to get done. Inspections. Put in today's date, today. So you can see it's automated. It just spits out August 12th, 2020. Then here, equal. Then you drag over, press F4, minus the last inspection date. And I didn't clear all the rules yet, did I? Rules from the entire sheet. And then click on through. You see that little box there. Just click on that, double click, it will fill up the entire series. Highlight the entire row, conditional formatting, new rule, cells that contain greater than 365 times 5. And let's mark that as, we'll red flag that. And I messed up. Apply. Edit rule. Greater than. Give me a second here. So value greater than. Let me pull up my old file. To your question, let me check on that. Manage rules here. C2 to C28. C2. So 365 times 5. And manage rules. It usually works. But it looks like the formula here is operational. The C2 to C822 with the dollar signs, the edit rule, 365 to 5. Try that again here. It's greater. There, it's good. Manage rules. There it is. Just didn't hit the apply button, actually. All right, anyone with questions? Quick, easy, I hope. If anyone needs additional assistance, I'm willing to help out. This video will be sent on YouTube by the end of the day, assuming I actually hit the record button. Any feedback? And again, we'll have some more presentations in September and October. There'll be less XLE, one on policy and another one on just a general overview from NFPA on NFIRS. Still trying to finalize those dates. Is there any topics that you all want me to cover the next time around? I guess not. So I'll stop the recording and you guys can be less shy.